In the heart of the galaxy, a group of aliens known as the Zintharians prepared to set foot on Earth. They had advanced technology and believed they were the most powerful beings in the universe. Their shiny ships zoomed through the stars, leaving trails of light behind. They were confident that humans would be easy to control, as they thought Earth was just a small and weak planet. As the Zintharian ships landed in a vast field outside a small town, a crowd gathered to watch. The townspeople were curious and a bit afraid. The aliens stepped out, tall and strange-looking, with bright skin and big eyes. They spoke in a deep, booming voice that echoed across the field. "We come in peace. We are here to help you," they proclaimed. The humans looked at each other, unsure of what to think. To show their goodwill, the Zintharians organized a huge celebration. They invited everyone to a grand party at their ship. Colorful lights filled the night sky, and strange music filled the air. Many people from the town were excited to attend, eager to see what the aliens had to offer. At the party, the Zintharians displayed their advanced technology. They had machines that could do incredible things, like flying in the air and changing shapes. The humans watched in awe, but there was a feeling of unease growing in their hearts. Some of the aliens laughed at the humans, calling them simple creatures and less evolved. This made many people uncomfortable, but they tried to enjoy the celebration. Among the crowd was a clever young man named Leo. He loved inventing things and was known for his quick thinking. As Leo watched the aliens show off their power, he felt a fire ignite within him. He believed that humans were capable of more than the aliens thought. He decided he needed to do something to prove it. While everyone was mesmerized by the alien displays, Leo sneaked away to his workshop nearby. He grabbed his tools and began to work on a secret project. He remembered a small invention he had created using everyday materials. It was a simple but effective device that could harness energy from the environment. It was not as advanced as the Zintharian technology, but it had the potential to surprise them. After hours of hard work, Leo finished his invention just in time for the climax of the party. The aliens were about to demonstrate a new weapon they had brought with them. It was a massive machine that could shoot energy blasts, and the crowd was eager to see it in action. Leo, however, had a different plan. He quietly returned to the party, holding his small device behind his back. When the aliens activated their weapon, a loud noise filled the air. Bright lights flashed, and the crowd gasped in awe and fear. The Zintharians beamed with pride, convinced that they were unbeatable. But just as they prepared to showcase their power, Leo stepped forward. He raised his device high and shouted, "Wait! Let me show you something." The crowd turned to look at him, confusion mixed with curiosity. Leo took a deep breath and activated his invention. In an instant, it lit up with energy, glowing bright and strong. The Zintharian weapon flickered for a moment, then sputtered out. The aliens were shocked. They had never seen anything like this before. "What is this?" one of the Zintharians exclaimed, staring at Leo in disbelief. The humans cheered, feeling a rush of pride and excitement. Leo had shown that even a simple human could create something powerful. He realized that humans were not as weak as the aliens thought. As the aliens stood in silence, trying to understand what had just happened, Leo felt a sense of determination growing within him. He knew that the Zintharians would not give up easily, and he needed to prepare for what might come next. The party ended, but the spark of rebellion had begun. This unexpected moment marked the beginning of a struggle. The Zintharians would learn that humans were not to be underestimated. Leo had opened the door to a new chapter, one where the true strength of humanity would soon be unveiled. After Leo's bold demonstration at the party, everything changed. The Zintharians, once filled with confidence, now looked at Earth with suspicion. They had come to help, but now they felt threatened. In their eyes, humans were not the weak beings they had thought. They realized that Leo's simple invention could be a sign of something much greater. Days passed, and the Zintharians began to tighten their grip on Earth. They announced that they would help humans evolve, but it quickly became clear that their help came with strict rules. They wanted to change human culture, claiming it was for the better. The Zintharians believed they were superior and that humans needed to follow their ways. This made many people very unhappy. In a large meeting, the Zintharian leader, Commander Vrax, spoke to a crowd of humans. His voice boomed like thunder. "We come to guide you into a new age of progress. Your old ways are outdated. You must learn from us. His words were meant to inspire, but instead, they sparked anger among the crowd. Many humans whispered to each other, sharing their feelings. "Who do they think they are?" one woman said, crossing her arms. "We don't need their guidance," another man added. "They're just trying to take over." As the crowd grew restless, Leo watched from a distance. He could see the tension rising. He knew that the Zintharians were pushing too hard, and it was only a matter of time before humans would fight back. The more the aliens tried to control, the more defiant the humans became. In secret, a group of brave humans met to discuss their plan. Leo was among them, and he spoke passionately about the need to stand up for their rights. "We can't let them take our culture and our freedom," he urged. "We must show them that we are strong and united." The others nodded, feeling inspired by his words. They decided to create their own technology using what Leo had taught them. They began gathering materials from around the town, working together in hidden workshops. They shared ideas and skills, each person contributing to the cause. As days turned into weeks, they created tools and weapons, preparing for the fight ahead. Meanwhile, the Zintharians continued their efforts to control Earth. They sent out patrols to monitor human activities and made public broadcasts that mocked human traditions. They called Earth a backward planet and claimed that only through their leadership could humans achieve greatness. This only fueled the anger of the people. One night, as the stars twinkled in the sky, Leo and his group gathered in a dimly lit garage. They had just completed a new device, a small drone that could fly high and gather information. "This will help us understand what the Zintharians are planning," Leo said, holding the drone up with a grin. Everyone cheered, their excitement growing. But their success came with a risk. The Zintharians were always watching. As the group tested their drone, it accidentally flew too close to a Zintharian patrol. The aliens spotted it and quickly tracked it back to the humans' hideout. Alarmed, Leo and the others rushed to hide their equipment. The Zintharians arrived at the garage just as the group finished their preparations. They burst in, demanding to know what the humans were doing. Commander Vrax was with them, his eyes narrowing with anger. "You think you can defy us?" he thundered. "We will not allow it!" The humans stood their ground, fear in their hearts but courage in their eyes. Leo stepped forward, his voice steady. "We're not afraid of you. We are not your pets. We are humans and we will fight for our freedom." The Zintharians laughed, but there was a flicker of uncertainty in their eyes. They could see the determination in the humans, and for the first time, they felt doubt. The aliens threatened to punish the humans for their defiance, but the humans were ready to fight back. That night, the air was thick with tension. Both sides were preparing for what was to come. The Zintharians had underestimated humanity's spirit, and now the flames of rebellion were beginning to burn brightly. Leo and his friends knew that a battle was on the horizon, and they were ready to protect their home at any cost. The fight for Earth had only just begun. The tension between humans and Zintharians grew day by day. Leo and his group worked tirelessly in their secret workshop, inventing new tools and weapons to prepare for the fight ahead. The humans knew that a showdown was coming, and they needed to be ready. Meanwhile, the Zintharians tightened their grip, sending patrols into neighborhoods and warning humans to follow their rules. One morning, Leo gathered his team. "We need to act before they crush us completely," he said. "We can't wait for them to attack us first. We need to show them we are not afraid." The group nodded in agreement, their faces filled with determination. The humans decided to launch a surprise attack on a Zintharian outpost located near the town. They had learned that this base was used to store weapons and other advanced technology. If they could take control of it, they might stand a chance against the aliens. The plan was risky, but Leo's team was ready to take that risk. As night fell, the group moved silently through the trees toward the outpost. They wore dark clothing to blend into the shadows, and each member carried the weapons they had made. Leo led the way, his heart racing with excitement and fear. He knew this was their chance to fight back. When they reached the outskirts of the outpost, they could see the Zintharian guards patrolling the area. The aliens were unaware of the approaching humans, busy talking and joking among themselves. Leo signaled for everyone to stay quiet. They crouched behind bushes, waiting for the right moment to strike. Suddenly, one of the guards spotted a movement in the shadows. "Hey! What was that?" he shouted, his voice echoing in the night. Leo knew they had to act fast. He shouted, "Now!" and the group sprang into action. With a loud roar, they charged toward the outpost. The humans moved as one, using their new weapons to surprise the Zintharian guards. Leo threw a small device he had created, which released a bright flash of light, blinding the aliens for a moment. They stumbled back, confused and disoriented. "Attack!" Leo shouted, and the humans launched themselves into battle. They fought fiercely, using their creativity and teamwork to overcome the aliens. The Zintharians were taken off guard, struggling to understand how humans could be fighting back so fiercely. The humans fought with everything they had. Leo led the charge, his heart pounding with adrenaline. He took down one alien with a swift kick and then dodged another's attack. His team fought bravely beside him, each member holding their own against the Zintharians. As the battle raged on, the humans discovered that the Zintharians were not as strong as they had believed. The aliens relied heavily on their advanced technology, and when that technology failed, they were vulnerable. The humans pressed their advantage, pushing deeper into the outpost. After several intense minutes of fighting, Leo and his team reached the storage area. There, they found crates filled with Zintharian weapons and equipment. "This is it!" Leo shouted, his voice filled with excitement. "We can use this to turn the tide!" They quickly began to gather weapons, but just then Commander Vrax appeared, furious and determined to stop the humans. "You dare invade our territory?" he roared, his voice shaking the ground. The humans froze for a moment, fear creeping into their hearts. But Leo stepped forward, standing tall. "We are not afraid of you," Leo shouted back. "You thought you could control us, but you were wrong. We will fight for our freedom." The other humans rallied behind him, their courage renewed. The battle continued, with Vrax fighting fiercely against the humans. But Leo and his team worked together, using their inventions and skills to distract the commander. They outsmarted him at every turn, dodging his attacks and striking back when he least expected it. Finally, in a moment of pure determination, Leo and his friends managed to corner Vrax. With a coordinated effort, they launched a final attack, overwhelming the alien commander. Vrax stumbled back, realizing he had underestimated the humans. As Vrax fell to the ground, the remaining Zintharians, seeing their leader defeated, began to retreat. The humans cheered, their voices rising in triumph. They had won the first battle, proving that they were not to be underestimated. Exhausted but exhilarated, Leo and his team stood together, knowing that this was only the beginning. They had taken a stand and shown the Zintharians that humans were strong and united. The fight for Earth was far from over, but they had taken a giant leap toward victory. After their victory at the Zintharian outpost, the mood among the humans was electric. Leo and his friends felt a new sense of hope and determination. They had proved that they could fight back, but they also knew that this was just the beginning. The Zintharians would not take this defeat lightly. They had to prepare for the battle that was surely coming. Back at their hidden workshop, the group gathered to discuss their next move. "We need to take the fight to them," Leo said, looking at each of his friends. "They won't stop until they crush us. We must strike while they are still recovering from their loss." Everyone nodded, feeling the weight of their mission. They knew they were risking their lives, but they also understood that their freedom was at stake. They began brainstorming ideas for their next attack. This time, they needed to be smarter and more strategic. As the days passed, news of the humans' victory spread like wildfire. More people began to join Leo's cause, bringing with them ideas, skills, and determination. They worked together, forging new weapons and gadgets. Leo's inventions, combined with the creativity of others, transformed their workshop into a bustling hub of innovation. But amid the excitement, Leo sensed a growing darkness. The Zintharians were preparing for a counterattack. Commander Vrax had escaped, and the news of his return filled the humans with dread. They knew he would be furious and eager to reclaim his honor. One night, as Leo stood outside, he watched the stars twinkle in the dark sky. He felt a mix of fear and hope. He knew that their next battle would be crucial. It was time to face the heart of the fight. The next day, Leo gathered everyone for a meeting. "We've made incredible progress, but we must stay focused. Our goal is to take out the Zintharian command center. If we can do that, we can break their hold on Earth." The crowd erupted in cheers, their spirits high. As the sun set, Leo and his team set out for the Zintharian command center. They moved stealthily through the forest, their hearts pounding with excitement and fear. Each step brought them closer to their goal. The plan was risky, but they were determined to succeed. When they reached the command center, they were surprised to find it heavily guarded. Zintharian soldiers patrolled the area, their bright uniforms gleaming in the moonlight. Leo and his friends crouched behind a large rock, assessing the situation. "We need a distraction," Leo whispered, his mind racing. They had to find a way to draw the guards away from the entrance. After a moment of thought, one of his friends, Mia, had an idea. "What if we set off a small explosion on the other side of the building? It will create noise and chaos." Leo nodded, excited by the plan. "That's perfect. Let's do it!" The team quickly set to work, preparing a small explosive device that they could use to create the distraction. As they finished their preparations, Leo felt a surge of confidence. He was proud of his team. They had come together, learned from each other, and were ready to fight for their freedom. The moment of truth was at hand. Mia set the explosive and lit the fuse. The humans quickly retreated to a safe distance, hiding behind trees as they waited for the blast. When the explosion went off, it shook the ground and filled the air with smoke and dust. The guards immediately rushed to investigate, leaving the entrance unprotected. "Now's our chance!" Leo shouted, and the team dashed forward. They slipped inside the command center, hearts racing. The inside was dark and filled with strange machines and glowing screens. Leo led the way, searching for the main control room. As they moved deeper into the facility, they encountered a few Zintharian soldiers. But with their newfound confidence and teamwork, the humans quickly overcame them, using their weapons and tactics to outsmart the aliens. Finally, they reached the control room. It was filled with screens showing various parts of Earth and the Zintharian forces. Leo knew this was where they could hit the aliens hard. "We need to shut this down," he exclaimed, pointing at the main console. As they worked together to dismantle the systems, alarms began to blare. The Zintharians had realized their command center was under attack. "We have to hurry," one of Leo's friends shouted, fear in his eyes. Just then, Commander Vrax burst into the room, his face filled with rage. "You! Here again!" he roared, pointing at Leo. The room froze for a moment as the humans prepared for the confrontation. Leo stood firm, his heart pounding. "We will fight for our freedom," he declared, determined to show the Zintharian commander that they were not afraid. The final showdown was about to begin, and both sides knew that the heart of the fight would determine the future of Earth. The fight inside the Zintharian command center reached a boiling point. Commander Vrax stood before Leo and his team, furious and ready to unleash his wrath. The humans felt the tension in the air, but they also felt a strong sense of determination. They had come too far to back down now. Vrax raised his weapon, ready to attack. "You think you can defeat me? I will crush you!" he shouted, his voice echoing in the control room. Leo and his friends stood together, their hearts racing. They were outnumbered and outmatched, but they would not let fear take over. "Together!" Leo shouted, urging everyone to unite. They formed a line, weapons raised and ready to fight. As Vrax charged at them, the humans moved as one, dodging his attacks and striking back with everything they had. The battle was fierce. Vrax was strong and fast, but Leo's team worked together seamlessly, using their creativity and skills to counter the commander's every move. Leo threw a gadget that created a blinding flash of light, temporarily stunning Vrax. "Now!" Leo yelled, and they all attacked at once. With a united force, they overwhelmed Vrax. He stumbled back, realizing that the humans were not the weak beings he had believed them to be. They fought with heart, and their unity gave them strength. Finally, with one last push, they took down the commander. As Vrax fell to the ground, the alarms blared louder, signaling the Zintharians that their command center was in chaos. The remaining soldiers, witnessing their leader's defeat, began to panic. Leo knew they had to act fast. "Let's finish this!" he shouted. The team quickly began shutting down the Zintharian systems, disabling their communication and weaponry. As they worked, they could hear the sounds of confusion and fear outside. The humans had taken control, and the Zintharians were losing their grip on Earth. After a few tense minutes, the command center was in shambles. The humans stood together, breathing heavily but filled with pride. They had done it. They had fought back and won a significant battle. But the war was not over yet. Suddenly, the ground shook as a loud explosion echoed from outside. "What was that?" one of Leo's friends asked, fear creeping into their voices. They rushed to a nearby window and looked outside. To their shock, they saw Zintharian ships retreating, fleeing from the area. Leo's heart raced. "We did it! They are retreating!" he exclaimed. The humans couldn't believe their eyes. The Zintharians had lost their will to fight, and it was all thanks to their teamwork and courage. As the dust settled, Leo and his team walked outside to join their fellow humans who were celebrating their victory. They hugged and cheered, tears of joy streaming down their faces. This was not just a victory. It was a new beginning for humanity. They had stood together against a great threat and had proven that they were capable of defending their home. In the days that followed, the humans worked to rebuild what had been damaged. They cleaned up the command center using the Xantharian technology to help them. They learned how to use the weapons they had captured, becoming more skilled and prepared for any future threats. News of their victory spread across the globe. Other human communities began to unite, sharing their resources and knowledge. Together, they formed a strong network dedicated to protecting Earth from any dangers that may arise. Leo's leadership inspired many, and people looked up to him as a hero. But Leo knew that the fight was not over. He had seen the power of unity, and he believed that they could face any challenge as long as they stood together. "We are stronger than we think," he told his friends. "This is just the beginning. We must stay vigilant and be ready for whatever comes next." As they stood on a hill overlooking their town, Leo felt a surge of hope. The stars twinkled brightly above them, symbolizing a brighter future. They had fought hard and had come out victorious. Now it was time to forge a new path forward. With renewed purpose, Leo and his friends vowed to continue their fight for freedom and justice. They were no longer just a group of individuals. They were a united force, ready to defend their planet against any threat. As they looked to the stars, they knew that humanity would rise to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, they would protect their home and ensure a peaceful future for generations to come.